Muraho, Sunny Bonani, Muishani. Welcome back to the African Freelancer series. So today we'll be doing things a bit differently. I'll actually be showing you how to update, upgrade, and optimize your AfriBlocks profile. So we'll be talking really about three main areas: content, proofreading, spelling, and grammar, as well as the use of supplementary materials and websites and other resources as well. So we're gonna head on over to the AfriBlocks website and we'll get started.
Really, what should be in your tagline? So this part here. The default profile has a part that says your tagline goes here. Many profiles on the AfriBlocks page still have this, and the freelancers have not yet completed this. But this is really a few words, a few key points that really tell us who you are. For example, there's a great example in addition to this one that said corporate graphic designer, brand identity specialist. Very straightforward and simple. You'd be able to read all of those words right on the first page, but it really shows me that, okay, this person has those skills, that's what I'm interested in, let me go to their profile. I like to use LinkedIn as a great example for filling out your AfriBlocks profile. You want your AfriBlocks profile to be more specific. You want it to really be tailored to the services that you're offering on this platform, but you also want it to be comprehensive as well, because there is competition at the end of the day. Okay, so next I want to talk a bit more about this summary profile section. So now I've gone to the same person's summary profile section. And the key of this section is to really give a concise but catchy summary of your skills, expertise, and what you could offer this client. Another suggestion that I have here is this is a great place to include a link. If you have a professional website with a portfolio, if you have one profile I came across, and I'll talk about supplementary materials later, had a Google Drive link to all of the materials. They were a graphic designer, so different products they'd made, which really was intriguing to me because then you could really see the quality of this person's work, again, making them more likely to be hired. So a summary section, really just think of, in a few sentences, what do you really want a client to know, especially if they're only reading that. Similar to a resume where there may be times when they're just judging you off of 30 seconds of looking at your page because of time constraints and wanting to see what other options are out there. So really do your best to sell yourself in this summary profile. One thing that I will say is when I've been looking through freelancers, as I'm now using this platform to boost my own business, I find myself clicking on the profiles where I do find a tagline, where I do find a summary section, because it really just shows me that person, not only that they have skills, but that they put in the effort into building their profile. And a touch into detail and comprehensive information is something I really value personally, and I know it's something that a lot of business owners value as well. Okay. All right. So the next profile I'm going to show you touches on the services section. So if you scroll down past the summary, we'll go to the services section. So this profile is showing a different person's services section. One thing that I'll note is that there are many profiles where you have not put in your services. You may have listed your skills, you may have listed what you offer in the summary, but this services section is meant to specifically break down what your individual services are. So for example, your business card design, for example in here, company profile, poster and flyer design, it really makes it easier for the client to process. This person has photos associated with theirs as well, which is very helpful. Again, you may offer services that cannot really have a photo, but try to think of maybe like a little flyer that you could make, a logo you could put attached to it, just kind of to give it that visual sense as well. All right. So I'm also going to use this page as an example for crafted projects. So crafted projects is really an extension of services. You're not just saying what you do, but you're giving specific examples. So I had mentioned there is one client who specifically had a Google Drive link, but it's also great to put them right in the platform as well. Again, depending on time constraints and limitations, the client might not always go check out another link, although it's great to have that on there. But if they could scroll through your profile and right then and there see what you're able to do, that is a huge benefit as well. Here's another example of crafted projects, which shows a bit different. This person had taken different images and uploaded them here. And so I just want you to be able to see that there's different ways of showing your crafted projects, but having images is a key way. A lot of clients, we love to see visuals. I'll also use this profile to highlight skills. This person did a great job of really breaking down and spelling out their specific skill sets. Again, as you start to see, many of these things are repetitive. I mentioned include skills in the summary, include your top 3, areas of expertise in your tagline. Make sure your services are broken down into what you specifically do. And of course here, as you see, there's a skill section. This is very important as well. Again, it's another visual way to not just see what your specific skills are, but how competent you are at them. It's important to not sell yourself short. So anything that you want to offer on the platform, really do list it out as a skill, because there's a way for clients to search by skills. And so even if you know how to use WordPress and develop websites using WordPress, but you don't list it in your skills, you may not be contacted for those jobs if there's no way of knowing that it's something that you do. So again, it's good to be repetitive in your AfriBlocks profile across your summary, your tagline, and your skills section. All right. So I wanted to use this other profile to touch on experience and education. As I've looked at many different freelancers' profiles, I've noticed that these sections are usually not completed. You may have your skills, your projects, but you haven't really put much in experience and education. Again, you start to think it's a bit repetitive. They could tell your experience from the skills you've listed. But again, this gives you a chance to have a bit more of a narrative when it comes to your specific job experiences or freelance experiences as well. I do suggest, if not a small paragraph format, to do it in how you would a resume. So in a bullet format. That also makes it a bit easier to process the information and the experiences that you have. Again, as an AfriBlocks freelancer, you may have many experiences that are unrelated to this position. For the purposes of this profile, we do suggest that you list the experiences that are relevant, whether directly or indirectly. You really do want to be able to show how long you've been doing these different skills that you'll be providing to the client. All right, and so next, education. So very similar thing. Do include your education on there. Experience, always trumps education in a lot of these, for a lot of clients who are looking, but it's always still important to put that on there. Again, having a complete profile will really make you more likely to get offers from clients. All right. So I do have a couple other suggestions that I would like to talk about. So another is really just drawing the link between your AfriBlocks profile and your just professional online presence. you do want to make sure if you do include your website or your LinkedIn profile within your summary or any other part of your AfriBlocks profile, that those are also up to date and professional as well. Some of the very complete profiles, I found it very easy to get to the portfolios of the clients through their websites, through their Instagram pages, through their Google Drives, and that makes you more likely to get offers because the client can really see the work you've done. But I do suggest to only connect accounts that are professional and that you'd want a client to see. So if you have kind of a personal, Instagram page, it's really just for your friends, I wouldn't necessarily link that. I would not suggest that. But if you have one that's really also showing kind of your work, your professional life, that's important to include. Again, for some people, it's a mix of those two. So that's a case where you'd have to just use your best judgment in terms of what you would like to share on the AfriBlocks profile. Okay. And so another thing that I wanted to mention, and this is very important, is to make sure that you proofread your profile. Make sure you review it, make sure that everything's spelled correctly, you have no grammatical errors, and ask someone to review it as well. Ask a friend, a colleague, a family member to take a second look at your profile. Even if you're someone who's a writer and you copyright and that's one of the skills that you're advertising on here, it's still easy to kind of be caught up and to make little mistakes that maybe won't be a make or break it, but could throw off a client if they are a bit bigger than usual. So I do suggest that as well. All right, and so that's pretty much all I have to say about the AfriBlocks profile. But in general, really just make sure that you add enough content. Really don't sell yourself short. You're on this platform because you're skilled, you're qualified, you're talented. And so we really want you to be able to show that through a comprehensive profile.